Please give it up for Eric Wolff.
All right.
That was the shortest piss of my life. Okay. So, my act is going to be a little bit inappropriate tonight. I don't always try to get too inappropriate, but who are we kidding? No one here has mortal fiber. The first thing I'm going to start off with is pornographic films. Okay. So the big beef I have with pornographic films is the story doesn't really add up, usually. And I know most of you are thinking, okay, we'll just get to the money shot so I can smoke a cigarette, who cares?
That's cool.
But what my beef is, okay, put yourself in the mind of a porn star for just one second.
I understand it.
Okay, your car breaks down. In obviously the nicest neighborhood in white suburbia of all time. And, you know, the first house that you go to just so happens to contain a woman who has basically no clothes on and is willing to do anything you ask. Just ask, I'll help you. Okay, so, you know, I'm gonna skip all the intercourse parts because we all know about the donkey and the reach arounds and all that. So, okay, so once you're done with all of this, okay, and all of this magical, you're wiping the sweat and the shame off of yourself. Okay, it's still, I mean, your car is still broken down. So, I mean, what do you say? You have a conversation similar to, yeah, well, I mean, that was the best Blumkin I've ever had, but seriously, do you have AAA's number? Because my transmission, I think it's done. It's over with. Thank you. So has anyone ever been masturbating in the shower and then the person next to you says, hey, you better keep that down? No? Nobody? Anybody? A couple people have been to county. Okay, well, I bring that up because county jail, that happened. No. Well, I actually have been to county. Actually, this county, the jail right down the street, and it's not all that bad. You know, it's not as bad as people raping and stabbing. Shawshank Redemption really paints a terrible picture that's not completely accurate. But, you know, it's not that terrible. But when I was in there, I did notice this, and not to be racist, Zach, I apologize, is that most of the people who were in there, 80% of them were African Americans. Okay, so, and it's not that black people, African Americans, Negroes, it's not that black people are worse at being criminal, or it's not that they're worse people or more angry or whatever, but they're just louder about it. They're just loud, like, I mean, okay, so a white guy beats up his wife in the privacy of his own home, blames it on the stairs, okay? She's London. Okay, a black person beats up his wife in the middle of a casino, brags about it, and then rejoins the NFL. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is they're a little louder about it, and they don't pay child support. But, that's all it was. That's all that was in there. Was people with child support and bad checks. Bad checks and you'd be surprised how many people still write checks and that don't, you know, it's terrible.
You got 2 minutes.
That's my time. I love you, Zach. Okay, so let's just get off of all of that then. No pun intended. I saw this commercial the other day. And there's a lot of commercials like this for medicine, if you have restless leg syndrome, or what have you, go down the line. The one I saw, though, for the particular one for this joke is Lyrica. Anyone seen this commercial for Lyrica? Okay, so Lyrica is like, oh, you're not yourself, you're in pain all the time, take Lyrica. I'm like, okay, awesome. So, then they get into side effects include, but are not limited to, and it always starts off so innocent. The first few are pretty regular, and then they get into, something more severe. Then they get into the worst possible things you've ever heard in your life. Like the first three will be, minor, headaches and cramps and chronic fatigue, and okay, and then it gets into, maybe drowsiness and blah, blah. And then the last three are just, usually like, okay, well, do I really want anal bleeding or night terrors or sleep rape? Like, the last ones are the worst things you've ever heard in your life. Like, I'd rather not sleep and rape someone, like be walking along and accidentally, I think I'll just take the fibromyalgia. But, has anyone ever heard any idioms or any sort of reference to a certain, like a saying that they didn't really understand? Like my dad was, we were driving down the other day and I heard, maybe I'm the only one who hasn't heard this, but he saw a Corvette and he said, he made the comment, he's like, if I was driving that Corvette, I'd really be the cat's pajamas. Does anyone know this saying, the cat's pajamas? Okay, thank God, because I gotta take this part piece by piece. First of all, just the fact that a cat would want to wear pajamas is insane. The fact that he would think that a cat wearing pajamas was the coolest thing he'd ever seen is ludicrous. And C, you ever tried getting a cat into pajamas? They're gonna claw the fuck out of your face. Like, you're gonna have to get a shot, you're gonna have scars, it's gonna remind you that it's the opposite of being the Fonz. You're gonna want to defenestrate this cat, which, by the way, if you don't know what defenestrate means, it means throwing a cat out of a window. Which made me, that made me think about, because I've been doing this whole thing, free rice, you might have heard of it. So, I wanted to write, because how specific the English language could be, I wanted to write a poem for the English language. So here we go, the specificity of the English language. And I wish I had it memorized because it'd be way cooler. Yes, the English language. Come try to master this unique disaster, use the world over from farmer to pastor. If here you are willing to hear what I'm spilling, I'll need a minute or two that won't cost you a shilling. Whether it's preposition or noun that you're after, I swear they all can be fodder for laughter, except if you're one of those unfortunate bastards who got stuck getting stuck with an everyday catheter. This language can take you all different places with magical worlds full of colorful faces, and if you've been blessed with a rapier wit, have a blast making fun of your choice of races. Let's not forget the ultimate question. To be or to not is no minor digestion. Now, Shakespeare's the man, don't get me wrong. His bust's the design I fashioned my bong. We've come to the end, but do not be frightened. I hope with this speech you've all been enlightened. I bet it's probably got all of you thinking, this guy's no good. Thank God I'm drinking. That's my time.